I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye joda loge chonam la chanjo bado dane gyapsuch nage jinso gebe chonam ge jola penje sanye jubare sho Sanye joda zoge chonam la chanjo bado dane gyapsuch nage jinso gebe chonam ge jola penje sanye jubare sho Sanye joda zoge jonam la janjo pardo dane gyapsuch Nage jinso gebe sonam ge jola pencere sanje jobare sho. Okay. Today we'll read. Is there a section identifying the mother? One chapter identifying the mother.
182.
182. Thank you. Recognize the mother. Thank you. Okay, so this is a great composition by a Tibetan master, Venerable Geshe Dorji. Perhaps 18th century AD, and he composed this in Bodhicitta. Anyone who knows Bodhicitta? Bodhicitta is a pilgrimage site in China, and this is believed to be the sacred place, holy place of Arya Manjushri, the Buddha of wisdom. And he composed this text there in Bodhicitta. And so I'm not going to go into detail. So this more like his but experience on emptiness, which came to him more like an extempore, as opposed to deliberate composition. And here you see that the recognize the mother refers to the emptiness. And our emptiness exists with us since beginningless time. Any object exists, the emptiness of the object exists together simultaneously. But we don't see this. We could not recognize this. So, what is mother? Mother is symbol of love and affection. And this emptiness, if you recognize this, like the mother, the way you see your mother, you meet your mother, and then things are guaranteed for you that you will not go through problems, particularly till age 14, 15. Right? After that, then it's not the mother creating problem, you creating problem. So for a young child, the mother is so precious, so important. You recognize her, you see her, and then you rest assured that everything's taken care of. So likewise, you get this wisdom of emptiness as the mother. You see this, and your fears will dissolve. And then you are more with the mother. You'll get the infinite happiness also. All the mental states will be gone, and your Buddha nature will be manifested fully. So, but how many see emptiness? We don't see this. We see everything so objectified. So, which means that we fail to recognize the mother. Because of this, we suffer. As a young child, when separated from the mother, you suffer a lot. You agree? As a young child, separated from the mother. In fact, I personally could feel this pain when I know that some young children, they go to school, boarding school, and their parents will not be there for due to distance, may not be there for like 6 months, 7 months, sometimes 9 months. And some of the Tibetan boys and girls, young boys and girls who came from Tibet, they just came at the age of 6, some of them, just imagine, 6. And they could not meet their parents for like 20 years, 30 years. And parents, they crave to see the children. And the children, they crave to see the parents. And the parents grow old, they die. The children, they did not get to meet parents. Very sad. So particularly when I feel this, the children being separate from the parents for like 4, 5, 6, 7 months, it's very painful for me to imagine that. So this is exactly what is happening. We are all like small children. We never met with a mother of emptiness. And if you do meet, your, say, the fearlessness and the infinite happiness that you are guaranteed. So, how to recognize a mother? So he composed this so beautifully, saying that this elder brother who knows the mother so well, and you are connected with the elder brother. You have never seen the mother. You have lost a mother. So the elder brother, what is the elder brother? Dependent origination. Dependent origination is your elder brother. You understand dependent origination and you understand emptiness. So elder brother, if you connect with the elder brother well, dependent origination, this elder brother will connect you to emptiness, introduce you to mother, help you to identify mother. And then all the functionalities that exist in this world, right? We talk about the two truths, ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Same object can be seen in 2 ways, yes? In the ultimate analysis, what do you see? Hey, in ultimate analysis, what is that object seen by ultimate analysis? Yes. Okay. Those who said emptiness objective is they're correct. But more precisely, technically, what is the object as seen by ultimate analysis is the ultimate truth. An object seen by conventional analysis is conventional truth. With the same object, with the same flower. Oh, today what happened? The flower withered. Huh? Impermanence. I agree. Yes, I agree. But every day we have breakfast, right? We don't say that every day is impermanence and we don't take the breakfast, second breakfast. We take the first breakfast and second breakfast. Again, although we know the first breakfast is impermanence, second breakfast, again we take it next day. Right? It's impermanence, yes. But, okay, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so let's say the same object seen by 2 different perceptions. So here, what I'm holding in this is that ultimate truth. Hey, what is in my hand? Listen very carefully. What is in my hand? In my hand, is there the ultimate truth? Yes. Is there the conventional truth? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, so what is the ultimate truth? The emptiness of flower as seen by the ultimate analysis. What's the conventional truth? The flower as seen by the conventional analysis. You're getting it? With the same object, there are 2 things. Tara, tell me, what's your mother's name? Michelle. Michelle, what's your grandmother's mother's name? Gela. So let's say Michelle is the same person, is a daughter as well as a mother. Same person. But the Tara always see Michelle as a mother, not as a daughter. But for Gela, Michelle is always seen as a daughter, not as a mother. You're getting it? So with the same object, there are many isolates. So likewise, with the same object, there are 2 truths. Ultimate truth, conventional truth. Okay, so What's conventional truth? That this flower is drooping today, otherwise it was so beautiful. These are all conventional truth. So conventional truth and ultimate truth, they're always together. Yet we see the conventional truth, we don't see the ultimate truth. You're getting it? So the mother and father, they're always together. Mother and father, they're always together. Because of being together, right? So the children come into existence. Mother and father, they're always together. Conventional truth is the father, the metaphor for conventional truth, and the ultimate truth, metaphor for the mother, the metaphor for the ultimate truth. So these two truths are always together, the way, the manner in which the two parents are always together. But you never see your mother. You only see your father. And you crave to see your mother. And it's your brother, dependent origination, who can possibly connect you to the mother. You're getting it? Okay, this is what we read here. Ready? Recognize the mother, the song or the experience of the middle way view. By Venerable Dorji. Okay, let's read it together. He who reveals in bed the wonder of profound dependent arising nature. O my Guru, your kindness is indeed boundless. Kindly reside in my heart as I utter these extemporaneous words from the thoughts flashing in my mind. This hapless child who lost his old mother so long ago is about to realize coincidentally what he has recognized, that she has been with him all along. She is perhaps the one that is and is not, as told to me quietly by my brother, the dependent arising. The diverse subject-object duality is my mother's benign smile. The cycle of birth and death, her deceptive words. O my undeceiving mother, you have betrayed me. So I hope to save by my brother, the dependent arising. Yet it is ultimately through your kindness alone, O mother, that I can hope to be freed. If subject-object duality is as they seem to be, then not even the Buddhas of the three times can save us. But this diversity of changes is in reality my unchanging mother's expressions. Hence, there is indeed a way out. Things not established objectively is the expression of mother. Mutual dependency is the play of deception. Just merely this is how we should understand. Not finding the father when sought is in fact the father of the mother. Okay, let's say you're looking for the conventional truth, the flower, and subject to ultimate analysis. Looking for the where's the flower objectively, looking for it, and then you see that the flower is empty. In the eyes of ultimate analysis, you found the emptiness, which is the mother. Finding the father, you found the mother, right? Okay. 7. Not finding the father when sought is in fact the finding of the mother, and the father is found on mother's lap. That is how the kind parents saved me, the child, I'm told. It seems that my brother's mirror reflects the ungrasped face of my mother, which is neither one nor multiple, yet a helpless one like me had no idea of it. Based on the instructions sent through wind by Aranigarjuna and Chandrakirti, which Manjushri Garbha has sent a bird to pass it on to us. Averts the hardships of a long and tiring search, hence I hope to see the incoming old mother. Manjushri Garbha here refers to Lama Tsongkhapa. The first, let's say, Buddha taught Aranigarjuna, then Acharya Chandrakirti. So finally, all these details of emptiness which we're studying, we got from Lama Tsongkhapa's teachings. So Manjushri Garbha refers to Lama Tsongkhapa there. In this mural, Arya at the top, okay, in the center right there, center Lama Tsongkhapa, and at the top you see Arya to his right is Lama Adishita Gyana, and to his left is Lama Tsongkhapa. So that is in the Tushita heaven. It is believed that Lama Tsongkhapa has now taken the emanation there in Tushita heaven with Arya. Yeah, this is. Let's read this number 9 again. Manjushri Garbha refers to Lama Tsongkhapa. Based on the instructions sent through wind by Aranigarjuna and Acharya Chandrakirti, which Manjushri Garbha has sent a bird to pass it on to us, averts the hardships of long and tiring search, hence I hope to see the accompanying old mother. They seem to be among today's scholars, those who, being caught in the web of terms, thoroughly withstanding, not to existence, etc., seek only something with horns to be negated while leaving intact this solid appearance. But on my mother's unveiled face, such vivid duality is not found, I believe. Through excessive discussion of the mark, my own mother is likely to run away. Things exist, though not in this mode of chaos and contradiction. For the inseparable bond of our loving parents seems that of harmony and tenderness. Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Vijnanavadin, this is Chidamantra, Vijnanavadin, and the three Eastern masters. Though labeled this mother's name with names so divergent, limestone like white elephant, marked with beaming tiger stripes in the form of physical matter, a foolish lunatic monkey, an intrinsic subject, a ferocious bear, the inherency, devoid of duality, yet all lost the old mother. Likewise, many scholars and meditators amid Sakya, Nyingma, Karma, Drukpa pride themselves in diverse terminologies, self-awareness of non-objective emptiness, clarity, primordial purity and spontaneity, the true face of Samanabhadra, Mahamudra, the unfabricated innate mind, neither existent nor non-existent, a mere absence of any thesis. It is all well if the target is hit, but I wonder what you are all pointing at. And as external matter is not dismantled, my Bhajika, worry not and be pleased. Though without self-cognizance, cognition and cognize are attainable, all Vijnanavadins, oh, be pleased. Though without intrinsic nature, dependent relation starkly remains, be pleased too, the three Eastern masters. As clarity and emptiness can be held as uncontradictory, upholders of pupil instructions hold doubts no more. Though primordially pure, good and bad are feasible. The knowledge bearers need no clinging to purity. Though one meditates through contrivance, the innate dawns. The elderly meditators need no insistence. As the absence of elaboration of existence or non-existence can be accepted, the stubborn logicians need not fret. All this occurred perhaps due to unfamiliarity with the standard conventions for those lacking extensive study. It is not I have no respect for you, please pardon if offended. Though I am not an old knower, yet have experience in the ways of riding the well-bred horse of my ancestors' works, through an enduring, persistent exertion, I hope to get over the impossible cliff. No search is required, for the seeker it is. Never grasp is true, for it is false. Yet this falsity should not be dispelled, for it is real. Well deserved is the respite, the freedom from the extreme of and nihilism. Though lacking the coveted experience of directly seeing the mother, I feel as though I am seeing right in front of me the kind parents lost for long. Great indeed is the kindness of Nagarjuna and his disciples. Great indeed is the kindness of Venerable Lobsang. Great indeed is my Guru's kindness. In return, I revere the mother. By the joyous celebration of all these noble deeds, through the mating of the young child of awareness with his unproduced and inexpressible old mother, may all mother beings be led to the lasting joy. Venerable Dorji perform here this joy, a dance of ecstatic joy to please the three jewels. Okay, so since tomorrow is going to be the last day, I may as well share it here. For some people that I see that some of you are interested in more like to take this 1 week program more seriously, as you are like, so like a form of the daily practice. If that is the case, I've drafted 3 versions of the daily practice meditation. One which is the long form, will take like 40 minutes, 45 minutes to 1 minute. And if you want to extend it, you can extend it to like 1 hour, 2 hours. But average I would say like 45 minutes. This is the long version. Then the middle length version, like half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour, second version. And then the third version is the short length version. Shortest version, which is like 10 minutes. So, and you'll get this either I can leave it with Venerable Venerable Kunpenla. I've lived with her, as well as you feel free to write me directly. The end, of course, you can expect that I get a lot of emails from people who attend retreat. Now this is the 18th, I think, 1818, 18 in series. We don't do it every day, every month, once in a year, or sometimes 3 times in a year in different places. So people write to me, and they say, if you have serious matters to discuss, particularly your personal issues, where, say, you are in a dilemma, what to do, and so forth, not about your business. I have no experience in business, right? About your practice, say and then also not about your boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Many people write to me about boyfriend, girlfriend. I have this problem with my, what should I do? I'm not expert in this. I have no experience. Don't ask me these things. Yeah. So related to your practice and related to your, say, life issues, let's say life issues. So life issues, you're going through really depression and so forth. And then they're all connected. Depression due to girlfriend, boyfriend. Again, this happens. If that happens, write to me, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that, so where you, okay, those of you who have your personal teachers, then no need to write to me, because some people is very funny that they simply they ask everybody and don't do anything. What's the point? It's just waste of time of other people, waste of time of your time also. So those of you who are more like new to this program, to this, and if you have really some serious matters to discuss, say what's going in your mind, what's going in your life, some serious, feel free to write to me. You getting it? Not like, hi, how are you doing, Dorji? Now I'm fine. Right? No need to write this. I'm very fine. Don't worry. You don't worry. I'm very fine. Right? Yeah. You don't write to me. Yeah. So if you have, and then the questions don't come up with list of questions. And I also have a disease of perfectionism. You know that what I'm saying? I also have a disease of perfectionism, because you came up with a long list. I'm also waiting for a long time, good long time, so that I can give good answers. And that long time never comes. Right? So you'll never get answer. So the best thing is make your questions succinct, not like 21 to 3 pages long. No point, because then at the most you'll get one reply saying that, thank you, I got your mail and I'll get back to you when I get more free time. I don't get free time, right? Okay, this much you'll get. But if your questions are very succinct, just 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, then you'll get the answers on the spot, right? So what I'm saying is, don't feel hesitant. Simply because I'm busy doesn't mean that you will not get reply from me, right? Where you really need help, I'll be most happy in my own capacity to help you. Okay, so you can write to me directly. My email address, so the one you can write to the office, you can get the office email as well as the email. And if you feel more comfortable writing to Bodhicitta Center, write to Bodhicitta Center. And if you want to address it to me, tell Bodhicitta Center, forward it to me. Or the Tibetan office is office@tibethouse.in. Office, all small letters, office@tibethouse.in. And some of you, I know, I can see from your face, some of you are very serious with this program, this retreat, and yet I can see that you are not pushing yourself in front, meaning that you are not pushy, that, oh, he must be busy, there are so many people there, I don't want to, waste his time. So you just stay behind, not coming, although you have something to discuss. I can see that from your face. Some of you, I can see that. So feel free to write to me. If I'm really, really, really busy, I will not even get time to check the emails. You getting it? So you don't have to worry. It's not disturbing me. Your emails will not disturb me.
It's .la, office@tibethouse.in.
In.
IN.
Yes. office@tibetan.in, and then my personal email address is, but it's always safer to write to the office directly. And CC that to me, because nowadays I don't really check my emails too often. So office, there's always somebody checking the emails. Okay, office@tibetan.in. My personal one is dordam@gmail.com. DOR, D for Denmark, O for Orange, R for red, DOR, DAM, again D for Denmark, A for Apple, M for Mango. Dordam@gmail.com. DORDAM, M for Mango, @gmail.com. DORDAM@gmail.com. Okay, so also where you have your person, if say and whereas if you have a good teacher, then they don't ask the same question to so many people, particularly what you should be doing. For example, with emptiness, you can ask many teachers. That's not an issue, because you will get different angles. So what should I do? They say that, okay, I'm going to do a personal retreat. What practice should I do? And one said Bodhicitta, other one said emptiness, and I said Tantra, other one said that. Then what do? You cannot do everything together. You're getting it? So therefore, don't rush to, usually this is not a good word, but I do use it for some people. Don't rush to hunt for guru. Don't rush to look for a guru, root guru. You're getting it? You're bound to meet with other people who say that, oh, you went to Bodhicitta, you went to retreat. Who's your root guru? This is, in many cases, many people ask this question. This is a clear indication that the person is a half-baked cake. You're getting it? Whoever asks you, who's your root guru? This is a clear indication that the person is half-baked cake, right? Don't just ignore. You say that His Holiness the Dalai Lama is my root guru. Say this. That's perfect. You're getting it? Okay. No need to rush to look for gurus. Finally, your job is not to look for guru. You have to look for fearlessness and infinite happiness. Don't forget it. That is your main goal. So some people, they are so caught up with the guru, like guru cult. They go after guru cult, Oh, this is my guru. Oh, my root guru is there. This is a guru cult. So don't rush to look for the gurus. Rush to look for fearlessness and infinite happiness. You're getting it? Rush to look for Bodhicitta. Rush to look for wisdom of emptiness. Okay, that is very important. And whereas those of you, and then why I'm saying this is because that you end up in problems, some cases, because you may get the wrong person and then you regret. You end up into problems. There are many cases. So therefore, don't rush. Learn the Dharma. For example, we are very fortunate, His Holiness, and particularly what I'd like to emphasize here is that listen to His Holiness's teachings more. Even though it may seem repetitive, right? Nowadays, His Holiness teaches very brief. Otherwise, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, His Holiness would teach 6 hours in stretch for 10 days, 20 days, 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day in those days. But nowadays, what His Holiness teaches is very different. His Holiness teaches very succinct. And some of us who cannot go into the depth, we may feel that it's the same thing over and over again. No, there's always nuances there. You just listen to this, His own teachings, and you will never be in the wrong hands. If you don't if you don't get His instructions, you can easily fall prey to the wrong hands. Wrong hands, and then in the end, you may regret. So therefore, no hurry. Even if you meet hundreds of people who say, who's your guru, just pay no heed. Keep this in mind, half-baked cake. You're getting it? Remember this. Don't rush to look for gurus. Learn the Dharma well, and then one point, when you get some understanding of emptiness, very systematically you get understand emptiness, you start to feel the Bodhicitta, some degree of Bodhicitta. When you start to feel that, when you get a very comprehensive picture of the reality is, what the reality is, then you can easily figure out who's a good teacher, who's not a good teacher. You're the person who can decide who is a good teacher, who is not. You're getting it? This is so important. Otherwise, many people, this, what is that? In Tibetan, this word is aksa. What do you, aksa in English? Like excitement over a new thing. Excitement over a new thing. And then the new thing, it doesn't remain new all the time. Right? You have the experience? Right? Excitement over a new thing. Right? It's extremely, what? Anxious. Not anxious. It's a beautiful moment. And then the new doesn't remain new all the time. The new means the next moment is going to be old. This is the definition of new. So therefore, old, and then your excitement disappears. And then you start backbiting. Right? So therefore, the point is that even these retreats, of course, even in the Tibetan class which I give for like 5 years, I make it very clear that this teaching is happening not in the form of guru-disciple relationship. You're getting it? It's more like a university program. So where you learn and that's it, finished. You grow, not to have any teacher-student relationship. So when you build a teacher-student relationship, you have to take it very seriously, right? And this, if you do it blindly, just following somebody saying, who's your real guru? I don't know, you must have a real guru. So what's the problem? Without this, then your dharma is nothing. Your dharma is not dharma, right? Many people say this. Just don't pay attention to this. And if you do pay attention, if you just become another guru cult, right? Following guru cult, then finish, you'll be in problem. Okay. So therefore, the point is that learn the Dharma well, practice the Dharma well. And then if you really want to, say there's urgency there should be the urgency to look for the fearlessness and infinite happiness. Urgency to look for the wisdom of emptiness and the Bodhicitta. That is, no need to rush to look for a guru. So then with the Bodhicitta wisdom of emptiness, where you become very grounded. For example, say Venerable Geshe, I know her all these many years. Look at how grounded. So don't think that you are somebody. Look at those people who are so grounded, who are already into Dharma for all these many years and who could sustain all these many years, and who are so grounded. Look at them, be inspired. Not just because that, enlightenment within the 3 years. And then but he said 4 things. Bodhicitta, renunciation, Bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, and the Singapore meditation. What is that? The renunciation may be 2 months. Then Bodhicitta maybe longer. He said is more so maybe 6 months. Then wisdom, emptiness, I'm smart. I can get very easy. That's very easy. That's very easy. It may take 2 months, let's say 6 months. The Singapore meditation, no. I can give everything. I go into the Himalaya and Singapore meditation, 2 months. So not even 3 years for you. Even 1 year, then you gade pargal so fast. And for you, it's not actually gade, it's gade bodhi soha. Right? This is our over expectation. Right? So if you fall prey to this, think of those people who are in Dharma for many years and who really demonstrated. Simply because somebody is in Dharma for long doesn't mean anything. Again, don't forget it. Simply because somebody is in Dharma for 20 years, 30 years doesn't mean anything. The thing is that somebody who's in Dharma for for long, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and their mind is so grounded, firm, happy, compassionate, and being very consistent, integrity. You see these people, take inspiration from these people. That's so important. You're getting it when you feel that you're a little egoistic, that okay, now I've become enlightened within 1 year, right? And then you look at these people who are so grounded. In Dharamsala, there are some of them I know. They're really very, even from the Westerners in Dharamsala, some of them are for many years, they've been studying, reflecting, meditating, and you can see them, see the Dharma in their being. So grounded, no over expectation, and then steadily going and really finding meaning to life. Okay, this is one thing. So for that, these three things. Okay, is there anybody who would like to? You remind me to give it to the three versions of the practice manual to be given to Venerable Kumbhenla, and also if you call me directly, I can send them to you directly through the office. Okay, so this is one thing that I'd like to share with you. So if at all you want to go into more like the extracting meaning, to give a meaning to your life with this practice, then there are three versions I drafted. You can get them easily. One. And then the most important thing is that in the mornings that we do, the mornings, particularly yesterday, no, not yesterday, yesterday we do not do, the day before yesterday and today and tomorrow. So tomorrow what we're going to do, so that recording you must keep for you. And for somebody who is not exposed to these teachings, for them, what we recording that we're going to do tomorrow morning will not make much sense. It's just like a reading. But for you, it's not a reading. For you, you already got all this information before. So what we do tomorrow morning, that's the last day. Tomorrow morning, that will be extremely useful for you, and keep that as a sample for your practice. That's going to be your, I would say, lifelong practice if you are serious with the practice. And then the manual, the three versions of the manual which I'm going to share with you. So they actually tally with this. So what we do in the morning, that is more like the longer version. And then we can abbreviate it, make it shorter, appreciate according to the manual which I drafted. Okay, so this is one thing. Then the next part is the okay, so this session I like to quickly do a little bit, continue with the Bodhicitta. In the second session, those questions which were left from the last time, like these questions here from the group 9. Tara, right? Is your handwriting? Who? Okay, so there's, and there are some other questions. The say where I see that questions are something helpful for all of us, I'll do them. Otherwise, we'll continue with the Bodhicitta. Okay. So yes, so what we did was, anybody who remembers what we left yesterday? Okay. And Joshua, I know he's very serious. Anybody else? Okay, Richard.
We finished with the merits of church and myself, and the merits of church.
Wonderful. So which steps are there? 4 and 5? Huh?
We're up to 4 and 5.
No. The reflection on the demerits of cherishing oneself, reflection on the merits of cherishing others. Which steps are there? 2 and 3. We're done with step 1, 2, 3. Okay, now 4 and 5. Step 4 and 5. Okay, anybody? On your fingertip, step 4. On a fingertip, step 4. So on a fingertip, step 4 means that this will help us to calm down our ego. You're getting it? Calm down our pride. Okay, I don't have it, right? And if we forever remain like this, right? Step 4, again the book, then you will never have what is known as cumulative effect of the practice. And those people who have cumulative,
Some people may be so intelligent, but they just underestimate things. And yeah, that's easy. They don't accumulate anything. And eventually, at the end of the day, they're left with nothing. You're getting it? The first thing that you get, because you are intelligent, you get so clearly, yeah, it's very easy, and you leave it. And second time, again, you get something else, you get so easy, right? So easy, and very clearly, because you're intelligent, you know, so again, you leave it. And last, finally, on the 7th day, what do you have? Only one thing in your hand. All the remaining, like out of 21 sessions, only one thing is left. Remaining 20 sessions are gone. Whereas those people who may not be so intelligent, but very consistent, very serious. So whatever they get, they keep accumulating, then finally they get the cumulative effect. 21 sessions is long. You get a lot of things. And believe it or not, if you take these 21 sessions without, say, the underestimating of this easy. Yes, I'm trying to make things very easy through examples. And you wouldn't believe, I don't really have to study anything of this. I study all these things. But before I come, I always think of how to make it easy. You're getting it? The complex matters, how to make it easy. And so you may get something, it is like, what do you call this? Tibetan we call it cha-cha, which means the holding the small child, baby's hands, and then make the baby walk. What do you call it? You understand it?
No words.
Huh? So making the baby walk by you holding the hands of the baby. You're getting it? So that when baby walks nicely, the moment you let go of the hands, instantly the baby falls. You're getting it? So therefore, you get somewhere. Oh, emptiness. Wow. The question, right? How can we have conceptual understanding of this? The moment I leave it, right? What is that? It seems like something. So nothing is left there. You're getting it? So what I'm saying is that it requires more consistent studies. So if you, particularly when somebody is a little intelligent, there's a tendency that you'll be left with nothing in your hand. Those people who are more serious, who take it seriously, right, remember things, right? What are the 4 essentials? What are the 9 steps? They try to remember this. These people will eventually be the masters. They become great masters. You getting it? Those people who seem to, meeting here, ask some good questions, and then just don't remember all these words. They will never accumulate this knowledge. Okay, so this is very important. So what I'm saying is number 4 and number 5. So all these people you have on your fingertips. Don't expect that they'll come to your mind automatically. So without which, then there's no point. And then at the most, after a while, you'll say that, Buddhism, yeah, I did one very intense retreat, somewhere in 200 something, 2000 something. I don't even know the teacher's name, I forgot it now, right? And what is the center? Tashita or something? What center? There's some Tashita, some center there in Dharamsala. That was 10 years ago. It's a very intense though. What do you learn? Something bodhi, right? Forgot it. And somebody says, what are the 4 essentials? What is 4 essentials? No clue 4 essentials. What are the 9 steps? No clue what is the 9. What is the 9 step? You have to ask that, right? Whereas those people who are very serious, who make notes, who try to remember these things, not just making notes, remember these things, try to memorize them. These people, after 9 years, 10 years, they will really shine, right? The joy increases within them. The fearlessness dawns. The joy dawns. The joy expands. That happens. Okay. Number 4. What is number 4? Step number 4.
Taking the suffering of others with the emphasis on compassion.
By heart.
Taking the suffering from others with the emphasis on compassion.
What is number 5?
Taking the suffering from others with the emphasis on
Giving your happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. You getting it? Okay. So number 4 and number 5 combined together is what is known as the Tong Len practice. Tong Len practice. Tong is to give. Len is take. Giving and taking practice. Step number 4 and 5 combined together is known as Tong Len practice. It's just a Tibetan word. You can write it anyways. The sound should be correct. T-O-N-G, tong. Don't say tong. It's tong. T-O-N-G, tong. L-E-N. Len. Tong len.
Tong is to take.
Tong is to give. Tong and len is take. Okay, tong len practice. And this is, say, you go to, let's say, the different teaching centers, teachers, people will talk about this Tonglen so often. And some people, they will say, when you go through some difficult times, don't worry, practice Tonglen. Okay, so I don't want to take too long time here. What I'd like to share with you is that this Tonglen practice must be accompanied by the first 3 steps. In the absence of first three steps, this Tonglen practice can make you go through burnout cases. It can make you go through burnout cases. So some people are very unskilled. They say, do Tonglen practice, right? You come to difficulties, right? Say you have lost your near and dear ones, so do Tonglen practice. No, near and dear ones you lost, you have a pain, and then with the Tonglen again you add the pain. You getting it? So many people, they go through severe depression, even more depression. So this is where even those people who encourage others to do Tonglen, they are very unskilled. They are totally inexperienced themselves. So therefore, the thing is that you can practice Tonglen, making sure that the first 3 steps are included. With the first 3 steps, okay, how many of you feel burnout nursing somebody unknown, taking care of somebody else in a hospital 24 hours every day, right? And nursing that person and 24 hours and not being paid. How many of you will feel burnout very quickly, with sense? Okay, how many of you felt burnout taking care of yourself, not being paid for all these many years? You're burnout. Huh? Okay, how many feel excited to have the breakfast, to be very honest, with sense? To have breakfast, a nice breakfast, and that was somebody else giving you. Right? Wow, that's a joy there. You never felt burnout. Why? Why you feel burnout when you do the same thing to somebody else? Why you don't feel burnout when doing to yourself? Why? Why?
One is you're giving and the other one is receiving. In the first case, you are giving a lot of receiving, and the second case, you are receiving.
Which second case? Which second case?
The breakfast.
Your breakfast or somebody else giving you the breakfast?
You're receiving something, so you're eating it. It's nurturing it.
No, why are you not feeling burnout giving yourself breakfast every day?
I'm giving yourself breakfast.
Yes.
Because it's something that is going to nurture your body.
Okay. So other person also nurtures the body when you give breakfast to other people? Okay. Anybody who likes to be here, is that self-cherishing?
So that's the first point that you shared yesterday, that I am yet not seeing the other person as equal to me. I'm seeing.
Okay. No, just speak what you feel. And no need to correlate what you have learned before. Later on, you practice, and then what you've learned will become your thinking. That's a different story. As of now, let's say as a beginner, so just tell me why you don't feel tired of feeding yourself breakfast every day, and why you feel tired to feed somebody with breakfast for 1 week, right? Say it. You receive something, and other person also receives something from when you feed. So it's same. But feeding others, you feel burnout. Feeding yourself, you don't feel burnout. The lady, the Marianne?
Yeah.
Yes.
For most of us, it's easier to be selfish than to be selfless. So we think it's harder work to be selfless.
Okay, for the time being, let's not use these words like selfish, It's not like, you're so bad. I'm being so selfish, right? Okay, say something which everybody will agree. Karen.
Because if I'm getting breakfast, I feel that I get benefits, and then I give it to somebody else, I don't feel I get benefits.
But somebody else gets benefit. So what's the difference? It's the same.
It's me at this moment.
No, it's so there's the other person, right? You are you, he's he, she's she. Okay, I know what you're saying. Okay, this is Rogala.
You place more importance on your own personal needs over others.
Good. Yes. Okay. Kartika, right? Kartike.
We are conditioned for the self-cherishing nature. It's a long practice that we have.
All these answers are correct. I'm still looking for one thing, which is the lady there.
We have to nourish ourselves, whereas to others, we don't have to.
Others, they will take care of themselves. Why should I take care of, why should I be bothered to take care of that person? He or she is her own responsibility. I'll take my own responsibility, right? Okay, Ornella.
Because when I make breakfast for myself, I can feel joy when I eat my breakfast.
Yes.
And I cannot feel the joy of other person in their meal.
But don't worry, other person feels joy. You when you give breakfast to other person feels joy. Jyoti.
It's easier to expend energy on myself and feel joy for that energy because I make my breakfast every day. I feel that energy is easy and responsibility very easy. It makes me happy,
But the other person also feels happy.
but if I do that for somebody, I do not feel that same
No, you don't feel happy, but the other person feels happy. That's nice. No?
happiness. It's not reflected because we are still ordinary.
Meaning? No, it's reflected, but the other person is happy. That's for sure.
The I is still there, so I feel, oh, I'm giving this person.
All the answers are correct. I'm looking for something. Let's say Chris.
I don't see that person's happiness as important as my own.
These are, again, I agree with all these answers. Okay, this gentleman over there.
Yeah, because I'm used to taking care of myself. That's what I've done all my life. So I'm, besides other people, but I'm used to taking care of myself and I don't have any thoughts.
So far, I'm used to taking care of myself. I'm not used to taking care of others. So therefore, it's easy that way, right? Good.
I don't need to put, and if I won't take care of myself, I don't think that maybe no one will take care of myself.
Okay. Okay. That's a good point. Inbal.
It's a matter of fairness, but I feel like I have to do it for myself, but if I do it for others, then I'm doing more than my part.
Okay. So these are all very important points raised so that yes, I have the responsibility to take care of myself. Others have the responsibility to take care of themselves. And if I do more than taking care of myself, then I'm doing something more, right? So this is not too fair, right? Okay, Jack.
In my case, when I'm alone, I make the most boring breakfast. But if my grandma is my house, I try to make the most beautiful thing.
This man is different. This man is from a different world system, right? He loves his grandmother. He loves his mother. He loves his sister. It's so beautiful. In fact, we have to go to that planet and come back, right? So that we'll feel this joy. It's very different. What he said is very true. What he said is exactly what many mothers feel. When the mothers, they're by themselves, they make very simple food, very boring food. When they're with the children and with the family, It's so nice food, mother's food. Okay, the girl over there.
I wanted to say for ourselves, we don't have the choice because we feel the hunger in our stomach, and even if we're too lazy, we're like, oh, I'm so hungry, now I have to fix something. But we don't feel the pain of the other that is hungry. I can ignore it more easily.
Okay. Okay, let's not forget what your name? Rika. Okay, Costa Rica. Okay, Rika, thank you. Yes, the girl there.
Maybe we have expectation to understand if we did the meal well, and then it's like more motivation to do it.
Say it again.
Maybe we have like expectation to understand if we did the food well, like if we serve you, if I serve you well, and then I need more motivation to do it. Like it's quite.
What about when you serve yourself? You don't need motivation?
I want to be, but I'm like he said, usually make myself like a small meal.
Small meal, but make sure that you give some meal to yourself, right? For others, not too sure. Particularly for a difficult boyfriend or difficult husband, not sure.
I didn't understand.
Okay, what I'm saying is that, say to your neighbor, say, why should I have to give you breakfast? But whether it's a boring breakfast or nice breakfast, I have to give something, right? To your neighbor, you don't think about this.
I think I am.
You're thinking, you're busy giving breakfast to all your neighbors.
Not usually, but.
Right? Okay. Lisa.
In ordinary thinking, when you give to yourself, you're receiving the benefit of your actions. But when you give to others, you feel like you're lacking something and you want to give back.
Yes, this is the core of what we're going to discuss here. This is very good. Okay, so let us not forget all what you have said. They're all extremely good and pretty reasonings. Say, don't just say that, for example, let's say what the Rika said, right? What Rika said. What did he say? Rika, say it again. You have the pain?
Don't feel the pain, it's the hunger of the other.
No, you don't feel pain and the pain of the other people, right? And then some religious people, what will they say? This is very selfish. You don't think about, you are not thinking about others. This is very selfish. This is very bad. Don't think like this. But it comes very naturally. So how should I avoid it? How should I change it? You're getting it? So there you can nobody can force you religiously. No, be kind. You are very selfish. This will not help to transform you. There must be the ways and means to transform you by the conviction. You should get the conviction. If you don't get the conviction, nobody can force you. You're getting it? We have to get a conviction. For that matter, we are learning these steps to gain conviction. You're getting it? Okay, all these, in fact, the points which Rika said, and who said? Inbal, what did you say?
More than my part.
Oh yeah, the fairness, Inbal, Rika, and who else? Who else? Okay, the gentleman over there, your name? Yes. Huh? Amitai. Okay. What Amita said, Amita, what did you say?
It's also what you're used to taking your.
Okay, this is what you used to doing it. And okay. Say, how many used to giving exams? Giving exams, school exams. Hey, raise your hands, right? Okay, now how many of you are looking forward to where's exam now? I'm used to sitting for exams, right? So simply because we are used to doesn't mean that we will be keen to do that again. We will say no way now, no exams. I'm fed up with exams, right? Too much exams, and eating the same food over and over again, right? Over and over again, you'll feel bored. I need change, right? Okay, so all these reflections, what Amitai said makes sense to a great sense in one direction, right? Meanwhile, we have to see the other angles also. So with this, do you agree with me that why I don't feel tired? Oh, by the way, why the mothers don't feel tired to feed their children? Huh? I'm looking for a word. Because of the love, you're getting it as simple as that. I love myself, so therefore I don't mind feeding myself. I don't feel burnout. I love myself, right? So mothers love their children because the mothers don't feel bored in feeding children. Some mothers do, but more. And then Jack never feels bored feeding a grandmother, mother, and a sister. You know, he feels so happy, joyous. It's all because of love. You're getting it? Do you agree with me? The secret of this enthusiasm, the energy, is the love and affection. When you feel love and affection with somebody, you will never feel tired. You'll make the person happy. How to make the other person happy? Give breakfast, the person will be happy. Right? If you don't give breakfast, right, who cares? Right? Can I have the breakfast? You go to the kitchen. Right? This is what happens. This is what happens in some of the families, right? When is the breakfast? Oh, it's ready. Go to the kitchen. You can have any time you like. You can prepare. Okay. So whereas if there is love, most likely you tend to ask the breakfast come on your table. Right? Is the love. Okay. Where there's love, you don't feel burnout. Where there's no love, you feel burnout. In fact, there was an interview. There was a very interesting, some of you might have seen that. A job was advertised, and people were not too sure what kind of job. People applied, by the way, because the unemployment issue was there. So, and the interviewer said that this job entitles you to work for 24 hours. Meant they can do this. And they said, okay. Right, the interviewees, okay. And this job entitles you to 24 hours, not just standing all the time. Okay. And there must be some holidays. No holidays, whole 1 year, 365 days. That's human violation, human rights violation. The interviewers said, that's human rights the violation, right? And then the interviewer added, saying that, and there's no salary there. Right? That's totally human rights violation. And all the interviewers, they become so angry, upset. And the interviewer said, but there are so many people who voluntarily took this job. And so there must be crazy people. Yes, the mothers. Right? Right? Okay, that's amazing. You think of this. We never think of this. How the mothers feel towards you, how your mother feels towards you when you're vulnerable. Particularly, I would say, not all. 99% of the mothers felt the same thing, except for some who themselves had very difficult childhood, who did not know how to take care of the children and so forth. Otherwise, the 99% of the people, they went through this. Their mothers feel that love. Where there's love, you don't feel burnout. If the same thing what the mother did to you, if a nurse is to do it for you, with the rare exceptions, most will feel burnout easily because there's no love. You're getting it? And the love is less. So where the love is, okay, so the secret of the happiness lies in love and affection. So the next question is, so when you feel this love and affection, with the step number 1, 2, 3, when you feel this love and affection with the practice step 1, 2, 3, then step 4 and 5 will not make you go burnout. Step 4 and 5 is to take suffering, to give breakfast to every day to somebody else, right? It'll make you burn out. So you will not feel burnout if you go through step 1, 2, 3 very successfully. So the point is that, yes, you can do Tonglen. If people advise you to do Tonglen, don't say that it's it makes me more depressed. Instead, if you cannot do that, don't push yourself. But if you want to do it, make sure that you complement this with step 1, 2, 3. You getting it? Okay. Step 1, 2, 3 will give you a sense of feeling of the purpose and the benefit of, that you have been kind to yourself. Looking at the demerits of cherishing oneself, looking at the merits of cherishing others. The more you reflect on these 2 points, you become so happy to see that my self-cherishing is being smashed. My other cherishing mind is being nurtured so that I become a happier person. My miseries will go down. Okay. So step 4 is taking the suffering of others with emphasis and compassion. How to do that? Suffering of others, there are 3 kinds of suffering. And there are so many different ways of doing it. I'm sharing with you how I do. And it's not that one is correct, one is wrong. All are correct as long as it increases your compassion. That is fine. And you can also put together 2, 3 things, but don't make it too bulky, right? Make it very condensed, compact, and something doable. Okay, so 3 kinds of suffering, and I know that some of you are exposed to all these teachings, 3 sufferings, and so forth. Some of you are not exposed to this. So for the general audience, I'm quickly share with you that 3 kinds of suffering are known as. Okay, what are they? Suffering change, pervasive conditions suffering. Okay, but for those people who are not exposed to this, I'm sharing with you suffering change, and pervasive condition suffering. There are 3 kinds of suffering. We need to know that. And what is the suffering? The first one is, now we have not much time. I'm going to quickly give the answer, particularly to those people who are new to this. And who are not new to this, you try to refresh it, because you may think that you know this, but you may be missing some nuances. Okay, the first one, suffering is any manifest suffering. Any manifest suffering which anybody can easily identify them as suffering. That is known as suffering of suffering. Any manifest suffering, a suffering which anybody could easily identify, a suffering which anybody can easily identify as suffering. That is suffering, the first one. For example, headache, say the sadness, the pain of losing near and dear ones, the fear of COVID. All these fall under the suffering. Next, suffering change. Suffering change is all mundane happiness. All mundane happiness is suffering change. All mundane. M-U-N-D-A-N-E, mundane, or all ordinary happiness, all mundane happiness. All ordinary happiness. For example, like the joy of having cheesecake, the joy of having momos, right? And the joy of sunshine.
I didn't understand, sorry.
So any mundane happiness. All examples.
Yeah.
Example like the joy that you get over having cheesecake. All these happiness which the mundane people see, they are suffering change. And you may wonder why the mundane happiness is referred to as suffering change. Why? Okay, anyone? Why the mundane happiness is referred to as suffering change? Okay, 2 things. One, that it should be how it is suffering. Number 2, why it is referred to as change. 2 things. My first question is, how is it suffering? Mundane. For example, like how many like having cheesecake? Resents. The joy of having cheesecake. The joy of having cheesecake. Okay, that is, how is it suffering? Anybody? Raise hands, raise hands, raise hands, raise hands, raise hands, raise hands. Here. How is it suffering?
How's the suffering?
Yes. Yes. Not you. And the joy of cheesecake. Yes. No, don't eat too much cheesecake. One piece is good enough. Hey, just one piece, the rest I'll not give you. Enjoy the one piece. The joy of taking the one piece cheesecake. How is it suffering? Yes, over there. What's the problem? Let it go away, but enjoy it. How is it suffering? Simply because it is impermanent doesn't mean that it is suffering. You're getting it? Resents. Okay, Ashwin.
Because it gives me pleasure to eat the cheesecake and I feel attached to the pleasure. And then when the cheesecake is gone, I feel disappointed, I feel sad.
No, that sadness is after the cheesecake. With the cheesecake, what's the problem? After the cheesecake is the problem. Okay, that I know. Right? Then you miss the cheesecake again. You're getting it? Right? I feel miss the hug. Right? Okay, the gentleman over there, the Amitai, the one before Amitai. Your name? Gal.
Because your happiness is dependent on the cheesecake.
It doesn't matter. It depends very good. You know? So because it's dependent on the cheesecake, it's very good.
Yeah, but you know it will, while you're eating it, you know it will end.
No, it doesn't matter. Don't think about what ends. When you enjoy it. So some people, they don't know how to enjoy their life. Right? First they said that the problem is that, oh, I don't have a job. Don't have a job. When they get a job, again the problem, you know, I'm not getting promotion. I may lose the job, right? And then you say, I'm not getting holiday. So before you get holiday, you're not happy because you're always worried about, I'm not getting holiday. When you get holiday will pass. When you holiday again, you are not enjoying. Right? Just enjoy. Don't make your life boring. You're getting it? When you have the cheesecake, enjoy it. Don't say it'll finish. Makes sense? Oh, you can't.
Because it traps us in samsara, it's a bait in a trap.
Okay, he's the wrong person to ask. NMC 2. NDC 1, 2, 3. NDC 3. Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
When you are eating the cheesecake to be happy, you're still on a conceptual level.
No, it's not conceptual, it's direct experience. You know? Nobody can say this is not cheesecake, it's a cheesecake. Yes, the lady here.
When you're craving cheesecake, like when you have the first bite and you satisfy the craving, the first bite is so good. But then
is it so good?
Yes, so good.
So good, right? It's not suffering.
It's amazing.
It's not suffering.
But then
the first bite is not suffering.
It can be, yeah.
No, it's so good.
It's enjoying, but then every bite after that is a little less.
No, that is the next bite. I'm not talking about the next bite, the first bite.
It's about the craving. You have the craving before.
Don't make life boring. It's craving. Don't have attachment. You know, don't have good house. No, don't have good cars. It's craving. Don't make life boring, right? This is not dharma. Dharma, you know, Buddhism. And then some people, oh, you want to Buddhism? You went to Tushita? What is Tushita? Jainism? No. Buddhism? Oh, Buddhism, can I talk to you now? Right? Can I invite you for dinner or not? Right? And then you also use the mark of being a Buddhist is that a dirty cloth, right? And you work in the kitchen, and the same cloth you use to make the tea, and usually you're nice, the girls with the beautiful, jewelry is nice, and the boys also look smart. And after Buddhism, you come so shabby. This is not Buddhism. Don't make it very boring. Don't make it boring. Okay, the lady here.
We get trapped in believing that the cheesecake is objectively real.
The cheesecake is?
Objectively real.
Objectively real. So what's the problem? No, objectively real is fine, but how is it suffering? It's not suffering.
Because believing that reality is objectively real.
No, it doesn't matter. Even if you believe in object real, if you enjoy, good. What's wrong with it? Okay, the lady there, Leni. Yes.
So when I see the cheesecake, I'm very happy. The first bite is wonderful. But getting to the end, I'm already fighting when it is.
First part is not a problem.
No.
First part is not suffering change.
For me, no. But when I get to the end, when it is a big piece, so I'm already fighting. And then I think I cannot leave something because that is not good to leave something on the plate. And then I eat it.
But the first piece is not an issue. First piece is no suffering. Huh?
For me.
The first one.
No, not the first bite, but coming to the end.
No. End is a problem. Yes, that's the problem. We know that. There's a problem with the relationship also. The first one is very beautiful. Then yeah, that's sure. Okay, Johannes. Yes.
Because it makes me believe that happiness comes from the cheesecake.
It doesn't matter. Are you enjoying it? It's not suffering? Tara.
I was going to say the same thing. So
Say it again.
just the happiness is dependent on whether the cheesecake is there or not.
Then there's no happiness. Everything is dependent on origination. The transcending sorrow is absolute peace. You're getting it? Don't forget it. There's absolute peace without any fear, without any suffering. That is also dependent originated. Everything is dependent. Even emptiness is also dependent originated. Okay, Jyoti.
Something as simple as a cheesecake is a reason for my happiness itself is not good thing.
Why is not good?
Because every small thing like a cheesecake or a good cushion, all of this are giving me that small moments of pleasure, and those moments of pleasure, when they are gone, I come back.
When they're gone, there's a problem. They're gone, there's a problem. When you have it, it's not a problem. What's the problem? Here.
Like, before we even have that first bite, it can be a problem because before we even physically take a bite of cheesecake, we've already projected an exaggerated expectation on the cheesecake. So if it doesn't.
What did you exaggerate?
So we exaggerated the expectation of what the cheesecake would taste like. So if we said, if we thought the cheesecake was going to be 9 out of 10, and the first bite is 8 out of 10.
So what actually makes you happy was the exaggeration of the taste. Is what I'm saying?
But that's what makes me unhappy.
No, this is not the point. Say what I said. You exaggerate the expectation.
Yes.
Okay, expectation of the taste.
The whole experience.
Whole experience meaning taste plus what?
Taste plus the look, everything.
Okay, so which means that you can have then if that is how then this exaggeration gives you the happiness, is it?
It's being a slave to
Does it give a happiness?
what gives happiness?
Exaggeration gives you happiness.
No, it gives you suffering.
This is not a mundane happiness. We said that this is mundane happiness. Mundane happiness should be happiness, right? Happiness which is tainted. Therefore, it is mundane happiness. This is not a genuine happiness. It's happiness, but it's not a genuine happiness. Okay, Raz.
Because it's not ultimate reality. There's a moment before.
Oh, very complicated. Ultimate reality.
There's a moment before you eat the first bite of cheesecake, and then the moment that you eat the first bite of cheesecake is the change.
So what's the idea? If there's a change, what's the problem? Okay, Lisa.
As soon as the cheesecake is in front of me, I'm already trapped in cause and effect. I have freedom.
No, say it again, say it again. So look, some people, they complain that I'm speaking so fast. She speaks faster than me. Tell me.
As soon as the cheesecake is in front of me, I have no freedom of control because I already am stuck in cause and effect.
So what's there? Don't make life so boring. Cheesecake, you know, very decently, dignified, you take it. Don't hurry, right? Like a dog in a meat. Then it's a loss of freedom. You be very dignified, you take it with the spoon, not with the hand. With the spoon, just put the, and then enjoy it. And don't go for the second piece. First piece is good, you enjoy it. Stop there. Some people, they're so good in having moderation. You're getting it? Moderation, this is the key word, moderation. Even with the alcohol, they take the one shot and stay there. They don't go for the second. They enjoy the first one, good. That's amazing. What's the problem with this? Yeah.
Because you feel your dependence in this moment. And
Everything is dependent originated. Hey, don't forget it.
yes, but in this moment you are sad because you are the happiness comes not.
No, the moment the cheesecake comes, the moment the cheesecake comes, you know, there's no sadness, there's happiness there. Yes, no. The moment your son was born on your birthday, there was the joy that there's no sadness.
Yes, that's true. When my son comes from me.
This is what I'm saying. Dependent on you. You're getting it. Oh, you carry.
Because it's necessary because of suffering. Because it's necessary because of suffering.
Are you sure? How does taking cheesecake create suffering in the future? Huh? What's the problem with the mundane happiness? What's the problem? Don't make things very boring, right? Okay, now no new hands coming up. Dilop? No?
Why don't you say I don't see the problem?
There's no problem at all. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. So let's say because we don't have much time, they say the okay, right. Okay. Let's say that those people who think that what's the problem with cheesecake, right? And those people who say that no, it's very they're suffering because you know it is impermanent, it's not objectively real, right? And it may create suffering in the future, right? Okay, both of you, those who say what's the problem? Right? What's the problem with cheesecake? Always cheesecake, right? And on the other hand, right? So those that, oh no, attachment coming, and so forth. So both sides, let us listen to this. So we should be very realistic. We should not just say something by mimicking somebody. You're getting it, you should gain conviction in it. Deep inside, you must gain conviction. This is actually suffering. By the way, what is meant by suffering? Tell me. Okay. Let me give an example. Say there are two people arrested for whatever reasons, politically or for the crimes. Well, two people are arrested, and unfortunately, the penalty is after 1 year, capital punishment. After 1 year. And two of them are handed over to the two different prison guards, two different prisons, prison A, prison B. And the prison guards, their job is to make sure that the person does not escape. The prisoner does not escape. This is his job. And after 1 year, you have to hand over to the judge or the whatever. Then prison guard A. Prison guard A, he is being, what he did is that he created what is that? Starbucks in the prison. He created a swimming pool in the prison and a garden in the prison. Right? Okay. And gym also in the prison. Gym. Okay. And he comes to meet you and says, how are you doing, Gadi? Right? Oh, you look so sad. Let's go to Starbucks. Starbucks, do they have coffee? Yes, no? Starbucks, they have coffee? Let's have a cup of coffee. And how are you doing today? Did you go for swimming? Right? Oh, today's a little cold. Don't worry. So tomorrow I'll make sure the water is warm. Okay. So this is how you spend your life. And then the prison B, the prison guard, every morning the prison guard was so rude to you, the prisoner B, so rude. And they making you work so hard, labor work, not getting proper food, cold food, just like a soup rather than proper, hot food. And even no sleeping, no proper sleeping. They say the facility is very harsh. Okay. Before the day of the execution, we got the news that one of the two prisoners escaped before the execution. One of the two prisoners escaped. And who do you think would that be? A or B?
B.
Yes, right? And then the next day is the execution day. Then the prison guard A hands over the prisoner A to the executioner. Then there's no escape. Then suddenly you realize that my friend has already disappeared, has escaped. And why you could not escape?
Was it convenient to stay?
Because of the luxury trapped you in the prison. So that what traps you in prison, is this good or bad? What makes you go to prison, go to execution? Is that good or bad? This is so vicious. You're getting it? It comes in the facade of joy and put you under the gallows. You're getting it? So, say this is known as the joy with the contamination. And how many of us in samsara, or how many of us in nirvana? Raise hands. Some of you may think that you are already in nirvana. Nirvana, good food, good place, breathing oxygen, right? It's so nice, right? How many of you think we are in samsara? Raise hands. Okay. And who forced you into samsara? Huh? Yes, nobody else forced you. Nobody under gun. You are taken to the, how the people take somebody to prison at a gun's point. Nobody dragged you into samsara. It is you. How did you do that? Because in samsara there must be something which makes, the bees, they hover around. The bees, they go around the flowers after the nectar. There must be some nectar there where the bees, right? Okay, so likewise, we are in the samsara, hovering around samsara all the time. There must be something in samsara that traps us, that lures us. What is that? Samsaric happiness. You are getting the what? The KFC and what? The Starbucks, the swimming pool in samsara, right? These are the ones which trap us, in samsara. We don't want to leave the prison. Okay, so is that good or bad? Okay, if you know that this is responsible for all the endless tears that we go through, endless tears, right? The pain of losing near and dear ones, right? Pain of separation, and particularly say even with the relationships, husband and wife, first how they come together, you get so you initially before coming together you have 100% freedom, right? And then coming together you get 200% freedom, right? And then over time you lose it becomes 100, and it becomes 50%, and at times it becomes 20%, 10%. And it's not just one side, both sides, because the other person wants to go to let's say holiday in New York, and some person wants to go holiday in the Bodhicitta, right? New York where Manhattan, and Bodhicitta where everything's wilderness, so it's very different. And some person say Bodhicitta is very beautiful. I said no, it's very boring. It's very forest everywhere, every tree. You can't see anything around you, right? And then they say, where do you want to go? I want to go to Manhattan. Oh man, if their body is very crowded, so many buildings, I'm fed up with this. No, it's so beautiful. You can see so many things, right? So either you split or you have to go one way. You're getting it? So there you lose the freedom. So, and then the end, same, there's so much love and affection, really genuine love and affection, and then separation is bound to happen. And this reality, where there's a birth, there's death. What is born dies. What comes together separates. What stands falls. What is accumulated exhausts. This is reality of life. And when that happens, there's so much of pain. And that one pain is good enough to nullify all the past memories of the joy. They are just so shallow in the eyes of this one moment of pain. So much of tears. These tears are because of being in the samsara. And who put you in samsara? Who put us in samsara? We all did it ourselves. Why? Because of something there which lures us. This is known as the lure. This is known as the bait. Bait is good or bad? Bait, what is bait? Anybody? Who are in German, what is bait? Huh? Angelhaken. Yes. Okay. So the bait, right? Okay, how many of you now understood the word bait? Raise hands. How many do not understand the word bait? Raise hands. You still bait? Gadi, you don't know what bait? Okay. Huh? Pitayon. Okay, Karen, you don't know the word bait? Now tell me, what is your language? Dutch. Is anybody Dutch? What?
Carnada in Spanish.
Carnada. Okay. Karen, tell me, what's that in Danish now? In Dutch. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, in other words, the hook used to catch fish. That hook should have a food for the fish to come to the hook. That food is known as bait. That food, if it is not delicious, no fish will come. Right? So the food should be delicious. It's for what? It's to feed the fish or to catch the fish? Catch the fish is good or bad? It's bad. Even the animals know that. Even the animals, the wild animals, if they see some kind of food there, for example, like say some of the rats, the rabbits, they're very smart. They will not just go to jump to the food. First they go a little bit closer, then don't go full. Go a little closer and see if there's any threat around. Again they'll come out to see if it is, checking if it is a bait. This is smart, right? So bait means, by definition, it should be delicious. By definition, it should be to put you into trouble. You getting it? So therefore it is bait has two elements. What are they? Being nice and superficial nice, and with the ulterior motive to trap you, to create problem on you. So likewise, mundane suffering. Suffering has mundane happiness. Happiness has a connotation of delicious food, and the mundane has a connotation of a trap. You're getting mundane happiness, this suffering, because it is a bait. Good. Okay. Yes.
Is it true that it traps us always, or just if we pray about attachment?
Okay. So this is a trap. Okay, this is a good question. Thank you. This is a trap as long as the trap means as long as yes, as long as the fish comes there, right? What makes the fish come there? Attachment. You're getting it? Okay. Where you have cut off the attachment, you enjoy the cheesecake, there's no problem. You're getting it? Where you have cut the attachment, you enjoy the cheesecake, there's no problem. Right? When you cut attachment, to see things as all like a dream by seeing emptiness on a very refined level. You're getting it? Therefore, seeing emptiness, this is the benefit. So, just to have the cheesecake per se there's nothing wrong in it. To have attachment to this is a problem. Okay. Yes.
How do you define suffering? How do you define suffering?
Okay, it's a good question. Okay, in fact, these are all very important questions which I should be throwing to the audience, but we don't have much time. What is suffering? In short, okay, 2 or 3 people, only 2 or 3 people. What is suffering?
Resistance to the present moment.
Say it again.
Resistance to the present moment.
Resistance to the present moment. Okay, let's say the suffering of the present, the suffering of the past sadness. How is it the resistance to the present moment?
If I experience whatever I experience, if I don't have resistance, then it's suffering.
Okay, so the past incident, past sad suffering, is that suffering or not?
Yes.
It is nothing to do with present.
When I experience it.
No, this is what I'm saying. You are not experienced, you experienced.
Okay, but it was suffering.
It's not present.
Present moment.
It's not present, it was past, right? Okay. Okay. Very short. Karthikeya.
Expectation not being fulfilled.
Expectation not fulfilled. For example, let's say that say somebody hit you, the pain. Is it suffering or not? Is it expectation not fulfilled or okay?
Everything that disturbs the mind.
Anything that disturbs your mind. But cheesecake doesn't disturb your mind, it makes your mind happy. You getting it? This is not suffering. Everything that disturbs mind, can be more suffering. Okay, so the girl over there. Okay. Okay, so let's if possible, whatever you say, you must gain conviction. You say that with conviction. You're getting it? So simply don't just mimic somebody. You can mimic. You mimic, but you must mimic that, and then conviction must be born in you. If the conviction is not there, then what you say may even hamper you, because you think that you have given the correct answer. You will not explore more. You must gain conviction. Okay. Yes, over there.
Ignorance that keeps us trapped in samsara.
How about the cheesecake?
It's ignorance. We're not seeing the reality of.
No, it's nice.
It's a nice bait. It's a nice bait.
Okay, Jack is saying this is a nice bait. It's a delicious bait. Okay. Okay. So this is ignorance.
Yeah.
It's ignorance. Okay, good. Okay, let's say That and now we don't have time. I have to do it. Otherwise, this how I try to let people have the conviction by letting you share your thoughts, and from there take down on the basis of your own understanding, and then take to the deeper understanding. So we have no time. I'll just share directly. What is suffering in the first place? Some people say that no, suffering is just subjective. Is it subjective? Yes, it is subjective. But suffering is, so what is suffering? Suffering is the lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is suffering. Lack of freedom is suffering. And lack of freedom can vary from a very small degree to an intense degree. Lack of freedom is suffering. Okay. So third one is pervasive conditioned suffering, which means that we are under the, okay, to be very quick, pervasive conditioned suffering means say, okay, is there suffering or not to be under a cruel boss? Is there suffering or not? Even though even though you are not meeting with the boss too often, but as long as you are under the control of this cruel boss, you are not happy. Yes, there's suffering. So pervasive conditioned suffering is by being under the control of a cruel boss of self-grasping ignorance. Pervasive conditioned suffering is that our being under the control of the contaminated karmas and afflictions, particularly self-grasping ignorance. That is the pervasive conditioned suffering. Let me repeat it. Our being under the control of contaminated karmas and afflictions, particularly the self-grasping ignorance. Our being under the control of the contaminated karmas and afflictions, particularly the self-grasping ignorance. And also, number 2 is involuntary birth in samsara. Involuntary birth in samsara is also the pervasive conditioned suffering. Involuntary birth. And then number 3 is the contaminated feeling, the feelings of the contaminated neutral feelings. Contaminated neutral feelings. Feelings, there are 3. Unpleasant feelings, pleasant feelings, and the neutral feelings. Unpleasant feelings are suffering. And the pleasant feelings, contaminated pleasant feelings are suffering change. Uncontaminated neutral feelings are pervasive conditioned suffering.
Uncontaminated neutral.
Okay, let me repeat it.
You say uncontaminated neutral.
Okay, let me repeat it. There are 3 feelings. What are they? What are the 3 kinds of feelings? Unpleasant feeling, pleasant feeling, and neutral feelings. Say, unpleasant feeling is always suffering. Pleasant feeling is contaminated, uncontaminated, contaminated and uncontaminated. And the contaminated pleasant feeling is suffering of change. Contaminated or the mundane pleasant feeling or contaminated pleasant feeling, these are the same, is suffering change. Then the contaminated neutral feeling. So all these 3 should be understood in the context of being contaminated. The unpleasant feeling is always contaminated. Pleasant feeling, contaminated, uncontaminated, both are there. Contaminated pleasant feeling is suffering change. A neutral feeling, contaminated, uncontaminated, both are there. Contaminated neutral feeling is pervasive conditioned suffering. So we have 3 instances of pervasive conditioned suffering. You're getting it? What are they? 3 kinds of pervasive condition. Number 1 is being under the sway, being under the control of contaminated karmas and afflictions, particularly self-grasping ignorance. This is number 1. Number 2, involuntary birth in samsara is number 2. There's pervasive conditioned suffering. Number 3 is contaminated and neutral feelings are pervasive conditioned suffering. So 3 examples given. Good? Okay. So what we do is that the Tonglen Step number 4. Okay, so what you do is that we will say instead of group discussions, we will do another 12 minutes, and then 11 o'clock we'll stop here. Then you will have tea break, half an hour. We'll come back. So we have not much time. You're getting it. There are a lot of materials to be covered. Okay. Okay. What I'm saying is that we will do another 12 minutes teaching here, and instead of group discussion, which means that you will only have half an hour break. Half an hour break, I can't expect you to have the group discussion, go to tea. I don't know how you do it. So rather just tea, have short break, half an hour, come back at 11:30. Again, the next class. You're getting it? We have so much materials left to be covered. And I know that some are very serious and I can't see any now. I can't hear anything, right? Okay, so the point is that now the tolerant practice, taking the suffering of others, giving happiness to others. So taking the suffering of others, 3. Because suffering of 3 kinds, you do it, and there are so many different ways of doing it. There are so many different ways of doing it. It's not that what I'm teaching you is the only thing which is correct. There are all others, they coming from the genuine sources, they're all correct. Okay, so I'll say, given that suffering is of 3 kinds, as you breathe in, okay, let's sit up properly. Sit up properly, and then as you breathe in, as you breathe in, imagine that of 3 sufferings, the first suffering of others. You can be very precise, like the people in the hands of the terrorists, people who are being bombed in Ukraine, and the people, one person kidnapping somebody else, and so forth, all these miserable things, and the poor chickens in the KFC, being slaughtered. Just take the suffering, manifest suffering, as you breathe in. Imagine that these sufferings, you just suck them, the suffering, you suck them in the form of a very dirty water, and if it is okay for you, then you can also, with it, alongside dirty water, very scary snakes, scorpions, and so forth, all these miseries, they manifest in the form of dirty water with these. Whereas if you are not too happy with think of the creatures, then delete that part, just think of the very dirty waters, like torrents, they gush through your left nostril, and as you breathe in, you breathe in all these suffering of all the beings, and particularly those who precisely visualized them, and these miseries, sufferings, they go in the form of they gush through your left nostril, so very dirty water, and as you breathe in, they go through your heart, and you may imagine at the heart, your self-centered attitude and self-grasping ignorance, these two are just in a relaxed state for all the since time immemorial till now. They have been just what you call it, chilling out. So these 2 things, the 2 demons, they are chilling out in your heart. And then suddenly the dirty water, they just come, and then like ascetic, they fight with these 2 demons inside your heart, and then they just consume these 2 demons, and all this dirty water, they go down through your legs, through your feet, underground. We do it 3 times. Okay, ready? And if possible, try to pick one instant of suffering, manifest suffering, like the poor chickens in the KFC, or somebody who is on the verge to be slaughtered by a terrorist, or somebody's verge to be bombed by the missiles, and so forth. Just pick up one particular instance and take that suffering upon you. Okay, 3 times. Okay, so breathe in, and this juncture between breathing in and breathing out, that juncture, as you start to breathe out, then imagine that they already enter through your left nostril and fight with the self-centered, self-grasping ignorance, and then as you breathe out, they go down 3 times. Okay. Next is suffering change. Just think of how the mundane happiness, they serve as a bait to trap all the beings in samsara, which ended up into all these tears of life. Just take them and let them be freed from the blaze, let them be freed from the traps of the mundane happiness 3 times. Feel that now all sentient beings are filled with the supramundane happiness. Mundane happiness is all taken away, and they're now filled with the lasting, genuine, supramundane happiness, not uncontaminated happiness. Okay, next, the pervasive conditioned suffering. Here you can think of all the sentient beings, they involuntarily take part in samsara, that they have under the control of contaminant karmas and affliction, particularly self-grasping ignorance, and all the mundane contaminated neutral feelings. Just imagine you are taking all of them 3 times. Okay, good. This is taking suffering of others with emphasis compassion. Next is giving happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. So, giving, tong, giving. Giving has a content. Giving, they are, again, this practice same can be done in different ways. But what you're going to do is going to be a very comprehensive one. Giving, in more technical sense, it means generosity. And generosity, and there are 4 kinds of generosity. Giving, there are 4 kinds of generosity. The first one is generosity of material resources, number 1. Okay, if you want to make note. Generosity of material resources, number 1. Number 2, generosity of loving kindness. Generosity of loving kindness. Number 3, generosity of protection. Number 3, generosity of protection. Number 4, generosity of dharma. Dharma, generosity of teachings. Generosity of dharma. Generosity of material resources. Generosity of what? Loving kindness. Generosity of protection. And generosity of dharma. Okay. Same. The first one, generosity of material resources. I said even the resources, material resources, they are the results of your the being kind, the virtues. Let's say the virtues. So as you breathe out, giving. As you breathe out, imagine that the materials that you have. The materials that you have, like the food, clothing, then the shelter, so whatever good things that you have, along with the virtues, you send, and also the good things, not only what you don't have, don't worry, the virtues and the good things the world has, you try to send, give to all the beings who are deprived of, say, the food, who are deprived of the material resources, who are deprived of the shelter, who are deprived of, say, good clean water, and so forth. You give all these things, and then the medical assistance, and so forth. Okay, so as you breathe out, Imagine that you just send forth all these things in the form of white nectars and white lights through your right nostril as you breathe out. And breathe out, and when you're on the verge to breathe in, imagine that at that point, these nectars and the lights that touch the beings who are deprived of material resources, and so with this you can visualize that you are there, and these what you send, they manifest in the form of, say, the food, clothing, shelter, medical assistance, medical, say, the things, equipments and so forth, medicine and so forth, and then you are distributing them to all the beings who are deprived of these material resources. Okay, this is number one. Ready? Okay, first let me explain all these four. Then number two is, what is number two? Loving kindness. And many people, in fact, we survive from loving kindness. We survive from the love and affection for others. That's for sure. We survive from love and affection for others. So where you feel the love and you're deprived of love and affection, then the people tend to go through depression and stress. The people tend to feel that life is meaningless. Life is so hollow. Okay, so here, particularly the people who are going through depression in the moment, anxiety and so forth, it doesn't mean that people who are going through this, they don't get love any at all. So oftentimes they do get love and affection. You do get love and affection, but you encounter with an extremely difficult situation, and then you don't know how to get out of this, and you go into depression. And in fact, all problems have a solution. All problems have a solution. The only thing is that whether you have the intelligence, whether you have the wisdom to solve these. So with the first thing, given that there's the hope there for all problems, the first thing required is that, don't worry, there's a solution there, I'm there to help you. So you are there to listen to the person. You are there to give love and affection to the person, saying that, don't worry, there's a hope. There's a hope. So you give love and affection. Oftentimes, many of these people who go through depression, you give love and affection, they could feel uplifted. They can come out of the depression. So this generosity is so precious, to give love and affection. Okay, so this is number two. What's number three? Generosity of the protection. The same. Anybody, even a tiny ant doesn't want to die. So even tiny ant, you just touch it, and what happens? Right? It stops, or it just turns and moves away, run away. This is clear indication that nobody wants to die, nobody wants pain. You agree with me? So therefore, the animals, they're not for our food. Let's keep that in mind. Why we are special? Not special, simply because we don't want suffering. We want happiness. That is why we are operating. And animals, they also have the same thing. They don't want to die. No one wants to die. If some of the tiny insects, you just touch it and it pretends as though like it's dead. This is the mechanism, They pretend so like they're dead. They stay like this for 1 minute, 2 minutes, right? And if they are very confident now that the threat is gone, right? Threat is gone, then they gradually start to move. Again, you touch it, again, it will pretend it's so dead. These are all the mechanisms to protect themselves. Why should you torture them? Why should you treat them as your food? This is totally unfair. This is totally unfair. And just imagine somebody just drags you and pull you like this. You will say no human rights violation, right? And these poor animals, KFCs. Where is the animal rights? This is where we should be really thinking more. And we do have the seed of compassion. The only thing, we don't think about this. If you think, naturally, a transformation will take place. So, we think serious about these. So therefore, they say the giving protection. Nobody wants the fear, threat, and so forth. So, as you breathe out, imagine that your virtues, particularly Bodhicitta, to give protection to others, and your wisdom of emptiness, So all these, imagine they all go out in the form of nectars, very soothing lights, and that the mere touch of these, for example, the poor chickens, how many millions of chickens have been killed? So the mere touch, so imagine that you manifest there, and then you talk to the people, the owner of the KFC, or the terrorists who are about to slaughter the captive, and say in the fast hotels, the fish, the crabs. Imagine that you're talking to the first hotel owners or the cooks that, okay, so don't kill this, spare this, and I'll buy this, I'll give you. And if you think you can do more, then you could converse that if at all you have to kill somebody, kill me, rather than killing these poor crabs, the poor fish, the poor chickens, the poor animals. Right? And even the terrorists, as well, like you're talking to the terrorists. If at all you have to kill somebody, kill me rather than spare this, what do you call it? Spare the person who's captive, spare this captive. And imagine the captive is released. You have to meet with the parents, the children, the family, even the fish. They all go to the ocean, to the rest of places. They are rescued. And then if you can make it very strong, then you can imagine that then the cook said, okay, I will cook you, right? And then you say, okay. Then the crab, all the limbs, they are being thrown about like this. Imagine your limbs are being thrown about, and then you are thrown into the hot boiling oil. And what happens? The feeling of joy will come to you. So when that happens, there's a fear coming in you. This fear is actually you are fighting with the self-centered attitude. Whereas if these things are too much, if the fear is too much, then don't do that. Just imagine that you are giving money to the cook or to the owner, and then release the animal, and then the life is, you have given protection, right? And to the terrorists also, you just give money to the person, what ransom, whatever to be paid, pay, and then release the captive. And whereas if you can, then you can think of, if I told you have to kill somebody, kill me, and imagine that person slaughtering you, right? So if you, by think of this, if it's so unbearable, then don't do it. Don't do it. Just give money or talk nicely, and the person's mind changes, and then the captive is released. Okay, this is how we have to do. That is what? Generosity of protection. What is next?
Generosity of Dharma.
Generosity of Dharma we'll do in the next class. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata